The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events. Hey guys, I'm Brandon, he, him.
Hi, I'm Dalia, she, her.
Hey, I'm B, they, them.
And this podcast is based on true events.
Sorry, I kind of blindsided you guys there. With
That's okay.
we didn't talk about it. I was just kind of like, I'm just going to do it this time.
Yeah, we're gonna go now.
We'll figure it out.
Ready, set, go.
All right. Well, today's vibe check. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing pretty great.
It's the same day as the last episode. So
It's summertime. My kids are out of school. Got lots of fun water plans this summer.
Oh, the kids out of school, actually?
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Because summer break times are just lost on me nowadays. Like, yep. I don't know. You know? We don't get breaks, so.
Nope.
But as far as vibe checks, my face is still a little hot from the last episode, but, like, that's not the weather's fault. It feels beautiful out, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous outside.
I went downstairs to get us a couple brownies for this one.
That was going to be my vibe check. My vibe check was, I'm good, I just had a brownie.
All right, let me rhyme. Okay, so when I went downstairs to put the pizza away, I just noticed that, like, because we got all the windows open downstairs and everything, it's just such a nice cross breeze. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful. So nice. I can't wait to eventually get, like, some more, like, earbuds or whatever, because I'll go on walks and listen to music. I can't wait to do that eventually.
Oh, yeah. I don't blame you.
Can't wait till my ankle's fully healed and I can do that.
We can go walks together,
we can go to that tea place nearby.
We have a tea place literally right around the corner. It's a 15-minute walk from our house.
Damn.
It's called Wendigo Tea Co. And all of their tea...
All right.
It's based on cryptids.
It's based on cryptids! But no, they're all based on cryptids. So they, like, have a sleepy time tea called Sandman. They have a Bigfoot black tea.
At Asian Fest, I tried the siren tea. And
siren throat tea,
and it was very floral with hibiscus, and I love hibiscus.
I do too.
So it was really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that it's so close to our house is insane. We would have gone, like, yesterday, but their tasting room is down till like the 27th.
Yeah, we were gonna drive there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's I'm excited. So that's cool though. But yeah, so that's my vibe check. Who wants to go next? How y'all feeling?
Did you already have your vibe check?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you did.
Did you?
Yeah. So it's just my turn. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, did I cut off your vibe check? No? Okay, good.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute.
I don't think so.
Did I accidentally?
I don't know.
Was I an ass? No.
I'm just here.
All right, cool.
Okay, vibe check. I'm doing good. I just had a brownie. Surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretend to be surprised.
Not like a special brownie. It's like
that sounds...
Cece's brownie.
Cece's of all
like
things.
A fudge brownie with powdered sugar on top. Oh,
fudge. Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just had a brownie, drinking some ice cold water, doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. I'm checking the itinerary just to make sure. Okay. No. Yeah. We just go right into the story. So I only have one story today. Okay. It is another story of, like, the tale is something I've heard before. I originally saw it from this show, but didn't realize this is what it was. And then later, I was listening to a podcast called Scared to Death, and I think one of their first episodes, they went over it. It's really, really interesting and really crazy. Yeah, I might have snuck a couple tidbits of information into the story, like, from outside of the show. I don't usually do that, but if I have more information that I just know about, I will, you know? So, are we ready?
Yep,
I'm ready. Okay, cool. So, imagine being at your lowest point. You just went through a divorce, and you're now a single parent of 3 kids living paycheck to paycheck in an apartment that's too small for you.
That feels too close to reality.
I'm sorry.
You said 3 kids.
Now, imagine the joy of actually finding a good home for your family, only to have that house become a nightmare for not only your family, but the family after you as well.
Real tears.
So, as told by the show A Haunting, one of my favorite paranormal documentary shows, I give you the tale of the Screaming House. May of 2001, Stephen LaChance and his 3 children, Eliza, 13, Elliot, 11, and Eli, 12, are beginning a new life in Union, Missouri after a rocky divorce. The house that they find is a rental, but a perfect solution until Stephen is able to find them all a house of their own. It was nice and large, which was a good change from the apartment they had been living in, where they all basically lived on top of each other. The whole family immediately fall in love with the house and feel right at home. Stephen felt like it was the first good thing that had happened to them in a long, long time. But how wrong he feels he was now. Looking back, Stephen remembers it started out small at first. While decorating the house not long after moving in, Stephen hangs up a painting only for it to fall off the wall the moment he turns around. Not thinking much of it, he replaces it, only for the picture to fall off the wall once again the moment he turns his back.
Damn, double homicide.
Getting a bit annoyed now, he places the painting once again, telling it, "Stay!" Thankfully, the painting stays, and he goes along with his day, so it seemed to listen to him at least. One day, Stephen sends Elliot to the basement to get something, and Elliot returns absolutely terrified, saying that he swore he had heard something chasing him back up the basement steps.
Ugh.
While his siblings tease him for being a scaredy cat, Stephen tries to reassure Elliot that there couldn't be anything in the basement and that everything was fine. But regardless of how many times Stephen explained it, that was just his imagination, Elliot refused to go back into the basement. At this point in time, the boys are having to camp out in Stephen's room at night because their new beds have yet to arrive. And Eliza usually will also hang out in the room with them before bed. Sorry, I wrote hand out. My bad. And so I had to recorrect that in the brain. Elliot has to go to the bathroom one night and asks his father to go with him, leading to his siblings once again teasing him about the, quote, basement monster. And Stephen trying to reassure him that he's being ridiculous and that he'll be fine going on his own. He's wrong, however. And Elliot soon comes bolting back into the room, talking animatedly about seeing a scary clown-like figure in the hallway. He thinks it must be the thing from the basement. Stephen once again reassures him that nothing's there, but Elliot insists. Now, even Eli and Eliza felt sorry for the brother and left him alone after that because of how bad it really seemed to bother him. A couple of nights later, the family returns home from a visit with Stephen's parents to find all the lights in the house on. Thinking someone might have broken in, Stephen checks all the doors and windows but finds everything locked up tight. Stephen even checks with his landlady to see if she had been by, but she points out it would have been illegal to come over without informing him first. After the phone call, Stephen reported feeling an electrical charge go through his body that he describes as, quote, like a tickling inside that would work its way out.
That sounds like a medical disease.
Right. Eliza would then wake up that night to the sound of her closet door opening. After checking on her brothers and finding that they were sound asleep and therefore couldn't be messing with her, she returned to her room and closed her closet door. She figured she'd just go back to sleep and would probably forget about it by morning. She snuggles up under her covers, closes her eyes, and once again hears the sound of her closet door sliding open. And now she's scared. She wakes up her dad and convinces him to let her sleep with the rest of them that night. The next day, Stephen calls his father over to check the electrical wiring in the house to hopefully get some answers about that shock that he felt. Excuse me. His father assures him that he found nothing that could have caused a shock. However, he did notice and point out that their basement housed what's known as a butcher's shower. A butcher's shower is a little open shower that was used by farmers to cleanse themselves of blood after slaughtering an animal over 3/4 of a century ago.
Jeez.
A little weird, but the house was a bit older, so not entirely unfathomable. Some nights after, Eliza, Elliot, and Eli are watching TV in Stephen's room. Stephen goes downstairs to answer a call from his dad. The kids are then surprised to see the bedroom door slam shut in front of them. At first, they thought it could be their dad pulling a prank, but their minds immediately changed when the screaming started. a loud chorus of screaming filled the ears of everyone in the house, seeming to be coming from everywhere around them and yet nowhere at all. As sudden as the screaming, all the doors in the house started to slam and rattle too, all on their own. Stephen runs up the stairs, and after struggling with the door for a minute, he's finally able to grab his kids and get the hell out of the house.
Gotta go right now.
The family moves in with Stephen's parents until they can find a new place. After his children were put in danger, there was no way he was going to go back, or he was ever going to step back in that house. Once again, the big old house is available, and it won't be long before another family falls in love with it and decides to move in. The new tenants are Linda Marsh and her husband Emmett Bryson, along with their 13-year-old daughter Ashley. In the days following the move, Linda takes some time off work to decorate the house with her husband, or while her husband is at work and her daughter at school. Or was her husband at work? She thought he was, but then who would be making the sounds of footsteps that she was currently hearing coming from upstairs? She could almost swear that someone was in her house. She knew she wasn't imagining the footsteps, and she was starting to get scared. She decides against checking upstairs, and eventually the noises just stop. Later that night, Ashley hears doors slamming from down the hallway and leaves her room to investigate. She finds her parents downstairs and asks if either one of them had done it, but her mom said that she had thought that Ashley had been making those noises upstairs. So they thought she was doing it. She thought they were doing it. Ashley seems a bit scared, but her father Emmett is firm that it's just an old house. Old houses make noise sometimes. Linda, however, is starting to think the house might be haunted. Meanwhile, Stephen LaChance has started having nightmares about the house. Nightmares about the butcher's shower in the basement. These nightmares compel Stephen to reach out to the current owners of the home to warn him about his experience despite his fear of the house. Linda felt validated to hear that she hadn't been the only one experiencing something in the house, but Emmett thought that the whole thing was hogwash. A scam to try to scare his family out of what he saw as an amazing home. Despite her husband's disbelief, Linda pressed on, comparing experiences in the house with Stephen's. Both Linda and Stephen wanted to learn more about the home and try to get to the bottom of the haunting. Not long after Stephen first makes contact with the current tenants, their daughter Ashley comes to Linda one night saying that she had just seen, oh, I forgot about this, so just a bit of a trigger warning for hanging. Linda, her daughter Ashley comes to Linda one night saying that she had just seen a baby hanging upside down from the tree in their yard.
Jesus.
Linda, instead of believing her daughter, asked her if she had been involved with any drugs, and starts really
Sounds about right.
and starts really worrying for Ashley's mental state. She explains later that while she accepted that Ashley had been hearing things because she herself had been seeing things, she felt that seeing things when she herself hadn't seen anything yet was a bit far-fetched. After that, Linda noticed Ashley's behavior take a big turn. She was unhappy, she was skipping school, and after finding out that Ashley had been cutting herself, she became worried about Ashley committing suicide and decided to check her into a hospital. Linda worried that it was the house that was causing Ashley to change. Emmett reluctantly agrees to let a ghost hunting team that Stephen found investigate the home. The team reportedly feeling an evil, inhuman spirit in the house upon entering, and would get high EMF spikes and even capture an EVP saying, "This is my house," during their investigation. They even claimed to have found an energy vortex in the basement and believed that the vortex had the ability to attract spirits and hold spirits to the house. After the investigation, Stephen decides to take matters into his own hands by researching the records of the property at the local library. He uncovers that the house might have belonged to two different Confederate officers, one of which was executed by firing squad on the property, as well as multiple different people throughout the years who had committed suicide or murdered on the property. Plenty of reasons for bad energy in the home. One night, Emmett awakes in the middle of the night to see a blurry human form at the foot of their bed. Now, he finally believes what his wife has been trying to tell him. Stephen arranges for a Roman Catholic priest to exorcise the house, hoping to rid the home of spirits, but the priest seemed very eager to leave the house after only blessing the first floor and claimed that it wasn't necessary to do every room before getting the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Apparently it was necessary, because that night Linda wakes to the feeling of hands around her throat choking her. She tells Emmett that she can't do it anymore and that they have to leave. Linda calls Steven in tears while Emmett is at work, and she tells her to pack a bag and he'll be right over. He finds her on the floor of her house with bruises along her neck, just absolutely sobbing. Linda is admitted to the hospital where she is put under observation for 4 days and examined by a psychiatrist. Her psychiatrist actually believes her when she tells him her house is haunted and advises her to stop her investigation and move out of the house as soon as she can. Linda and Ashley arrange to move in with family while Emmett stays at the house and tries to find them all a new place to live. After Linda and Emmett move out, a new family with 6 kids soon move in. Within 6 months, they too are moved out. Stephen LeChance would go on to write a book about these events called The Uninvited, which I actually have the book of. I also would recommend, I forget which episode it is, it's one of the first episodes of the podcast Scared to Death. He does a really good job at like telling more detail about this. This is what I was able to get from the haunted, but that is the story of the Screaming House. I
could not imagine waking up with those bruises on your throat like that.
No, yeah, that's insane.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
And the screaming. Oh.
No, yeah, just the cacophony of screaming all throughout the house, I think would send me into a panic attack almost. Like, that's...
Yeah, that alone probably would have been enough for me to be like, all right.
I would have already not been back, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think they might not have been after that.
If I was still there at that point, that would have been it's time to go.
Yeah.
Got a blast.
Right.
Gotta go fast. All right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Yeah, no, that was pretty dark.
Yeah, it is a little bit dark. It was actually one of the first stories I've written, so I noticed, like, reading through it, like, just different, like, ways of writing it. I was like, I could have done that better. I could have, yeah. But either way,
I think it was told well.
Either way,
yeah.
not a fun one.
No.
I do have some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So open up the group chat. This first one is Stephen LeChance himself. He is an author now. Like I said, he wrote The Uninvited, which is about his experience in the Union Screaming House.
Mm-hmm.
He has also written other books about other hauntings as well. This next picture is one of the basement of the house. Wait. Before I do that one. That's fine to do that one. However, even before... Oh, man, I just completely missed a photo. Okay, so I'm still going to do that. There's a picture of a basement of the house. We'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And next, this is the picture of the house itself. Man,
it's such a pretty house, too.
Oh man, I did that way out of order. I just skipped a whole picture.
Okay.
It was supposed to go the picture of the house first, obviously.
Oh,
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, on social media, that's what I'll do. I'll put the picture of the house first still, and then it'll be LeChance and then the first picture of the basement, because the next one is a second picture of the basement, and this one, if you look in the back corner next to that fridge on the left, I believe that is the nozzle for the butcher shower. I couldn't find a good picture of it from inside the house. I believe these are from investigations or whatever that's happened in it.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when we were house searching and there was a butcher shower in one of the basements?
I do. I pointed out.
Yeah.
And I was because I knew about it from doing this.
I see. I didn't know what that was till you told me about it then. Mm. And so now that you told the story, now I'm like, oh, I know what that is.
I know what that is, yeah. And then this next picture is a picture of what the butcher shower was depicted as in the episode. So this is what... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what my shower head looks like in my shower.
Yeah, it's a shower head. It's just in a basement or usually a basement. Yeah, with a drain on the bottom.
Oh, yeah. I have a random ass toilet just in the middle of my basement floor. I have no room to speak about random appliances in basements.
We also have a toilet in our basement. It's apparently supposed to prevent flooding somehow. I can't remember how. But he explained it really well.
Y'all's is at least up against the wall.
It is.
Yeah, there's no walls
just kind of in the middle of the floor.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot I forgot about the couple like little trigger warnings, so I'll make sure to put those in the show notes.
All good.
Maybe the cutting and the suicide.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that
Maybe
was
throw
a
in
good dark
hotline
story.
at the end.
A what?
Throw in the hotline number at the end.
We can, if you
Or
want.
at least in the show notes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay.
No, yeah, this one will be good. Let me make a note of that. Throw in hotline number. Cool. Well, not cool, but
Well,
it said, man, it autocorrected a hitting number. That is not the right number. That is not what a hotline. Okay.
Oh no, we don't like that man. Never mind.
So, yeah. Any other thoughts on that one? On the Union Screaming House?
It's almost worse than The Conjuring.
You think so?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
maybe it's because we didn't get all the details of The Conjuring house because 10 years.
Well, what's crazy about this one is that the story continues like afterwards.
yeah, it's multiple families
Mm-hmm.
that are experiencing this.
which is terrible. Yeah.
I feel so bad for Ashley, like the daughter.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck to the mother, what the fuck are you doing? Being
Right.
like, oh no, I haven't experienced it, so you couldn't have. You're being dramatic.
That
like,
sounds about
what?
right.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you? So that's all I could think when watching that. Is like, that's
Yep.
so shitty
Yep.
as a parent.
That reminds me of my mom.
Trauma bonding.
Oh yeah. Dalia, how many
Yes.
stories do you have for us today?
I actually only have one story today. It's pretty long.
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
Whoop.
Oh, stop
Party foul.
dropping shit.
Whoops. Knocked over my water bottle.
Wall
All right.
wall.
So, yeah, let's continue on from that.
So, this allegedly true encounter was also found on Reddit. And I say also because most of my stories will be found on Reddit or other sites like Reddit where people can share true events that happen to them. So, let's get into it. I'm calling this story Rustling in the Cornfield. And the OP writes, I'll start this off by saying I grew up completely 100% adamant that the paranormal isn't real. It can all be rationalized, and that people who believed in it haven't thought about it hard enough. I've made other posts on other subreddits about paranormal events that have happened in my life recently that have completely changed my mind. Primarily about my neighbor's house. That's not what I'll be talking about today, though. I'll actually, when I go talk about his other posts, I'll bring that up in future episodes.
Okay.
I live in the Midwest. I live on a small rural, that's a hard word, lot between a cornfield and a small forest, in a camper. I've lived in this county my entire life. I know the entire county like the back of my hand. This being said, I've come to the conclusion that my experiences around the rural and wooded parts of this county are crawlers. I'm 100% sure of it. I've had many encounters, none back to back, but they happen frequently. Do you guys know what crawlers are?
No, I don't.
No.
So
Sounds
crawlers,
awful.
yeah, crawlers are exactly how they sound. They're paranormal creatures. You can call them skinwalkers, whatever that you see crawling around.
Hate that. I hate
Yeah,
that so much.
at least from what
Definitely
I've
give it to the
found.
next person.
Things that crawl just aren't the vibe, honestly.
That's what I've found that means. If it means something else, if anybody knows, feel free to leave a comment, let us know. But upon my research, that's what I found that crawlers are.
Okay.
There's a forest/park in the middle of the town. I always hated at night since I was little. As I got older, my cousin and I thought getting scared was really fun. We'd go there at night on purpose, but never lasted long. I always felt like I was being watched. This, on top of urban legends of people going missing here at night, made me feel really uneasy, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Fast forward to a few years ago. I got married and am settling into life as a husband. I take my large all-black German Shepherd, Fenrir, on walks with me at night. I always walk towards the park, but I usually don't enter it. The first time something weird happened was 5 years ago. I was walking Fenrir in the woods. To the front and to the right of me, to the left and behind me was a neighborhood edge and a small playground. Went silent. That's never good when everything around you goes silent.
Never. Never.
my dog started acting super anxious. He's usually a very stoic and quiet dog. He's 120 pounds and built like a tank. Looks very intimidating, and he knows it. I heard rustling in the woods following me, and I felt like I was being stalked. I ran home, and that's the end of the first encounter. I had a few more encounters like that, but last year things really amped up. I was on a walk around 11:30 p.m. with Fenrir, my wife, and our little newer dog, Booger. He's a terrier chai mix. We are walking down the same path, and about 3 blocks away from the woods, 4 or so deer are sprinting out of the trees into the street towards us, and they seem terrified. Then I hear what I can only describe, this part I don't like, as what sounded like a human trying to mimic the sounds of a monkey.
What?
We laughed it off as some kids were playing around. Once we get up to the woods and are walking parallel, we can clearly see 2 reflective eyes and a silhouette staring us down from the tree line. We also heard a deep growl and then a hissing sound. But it wasn't super high-pitched or anything. Both our dogs acknowledged this as well. Fenrir stared, and Booger growled a little bit. I made a Facebook post on the community's Facebook group, and other people told similar stories around town. Around this time, I got a job as a tour guide, maintenance for rail explorers. I'm working there again this year as well. We started April 1st. Basically, they take unused or tour-specific railroad sections that aren't used federally, and they have these pedal cars with motor assist on them that you can use to explore the tracks. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool and super fun. The one I work at is like 5 minutes from where I live, and it goes into the woods in an inaccessible part of the county unless you float down the river and hike up steep loose dirt hills. You go under one old car bridge, and you go over 2 multi-100-foot length old train bridges. The first one is larger and taller, and it's about 150 feet off the ground above the forest. The second goes over the river. So it's a lot of details about the area.
Yeah.
About 6 months into the job, and it's fall. We work midnight, and sometimes with the last tour leaving around 9 p.m. That means the last tour for the last 2 months of the year are in complete darkness. The way the job operates is with 6 employees. 4 get on the lead bike and 2 get on the rear bike. From the lead bike, we drop off 1 person at the busy intersection so they can flag traffic, and 1 person gets dropped off at the large train bridge that goes over the woods. The person at the bridge gives a short safety speech to the customers who stop and go one at a time over the bridge. The employee carts are much faster than the customer ones. We have walkie-talkies, and we usually have these battery-powered floodlights on stands we use so the customers can see us, and light up safety vests.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking these precautions, okay?
Yeah.
On one particular night, we were behind by 20 or so minutes. Instead of leaving the depot at sunset, we were leaving at dusk, and I was stationed at the high bridge. By the time we reached the bridge, it was pitch black, aside from the stars providing a little light. My coworkers dropped me off and waited with me until the first customer arrived. I gave the little speech to that first car of 4, and I chatted with them a little bit. I was trying to buy some time and wait for the next customer car so there wasn't a massive gap for my coworkers who have to flip the bikes around. After a few minutes, I let these customers leave, and I was alone. I was alone for 20 minutes. I used the radio so many times, but it was static for everybody. One of the only times we've ever had an issue like that as well. I kept seeing movement in the tree line. I kept hearing fast footsteps all around me in every direction. I had the floodlight on above my head so everyone and everything could see me, but I couldn't see shit. I turned off the floodlight and used my personal flashlight. I kept seeing quick glimpses of pale skin moving quickly, but right when I started seeing stuff, I could hear the next customer cart coming close. So I turned the light back on and waited for them to turn around the corner. When they pulled up, I noticed they had a little boy with them. And he's scared of the dark. I'm terrified at this point, but have to act appropriately, even more so because of this boy. I do not want to scare him. As I'm finishing my speech, I hear movement right behind me and say, "Jesus fucking Christ," and they spin around with a flashlight on instinct. Poor kid. I told them it was probably just a deer, and they're good to go across the bridge. Okay. The same night, the person stationed at the intersection, this isn't like an in-town intersection. It's very rural. It's right next to a massive cornfield. Woo, goody.
No, thank you.
He's Native American, and he was very in tune with his culture. He told me privately a few weeks later that he heard rustling in the cornfield. Hence the name of the story.
Right.
And whatever was out there was whispering his name and trying to get him into the field. He was also without communication for those 20 minutes, but he wasn't in the woods and could see a lot better than me. Alright, and he goes on to talk about another encounter. It's like a series of encounters for this guy, okay? Another time, me and the same coworker were headed back on the front cart. We were way ahead, so we stopped the cart in the middle of the high bridge. It sounds scary. I am a bit afraid of heights, and this bridge has massive gaps between the planks you could fit through. But after doing it so often, you get used to it. It was a clear night, and we were watching the stars and having a small talk. Then, it goes silent. We are 100 and so feet in the air above the woods. We can hear it for miles. The dogs barking across the river 2 miles can be heard without even seeing the houses. It's really on. We hear what sounds like a human mimicking, you got it, a monkey noise. And we hear growling. He looks at me completely seriously and tells me in a stern tone that we need to get out of here right now.
You gotta tell me twice.
It says TF. I drive the fuck out of there, and he moved states to Nevada shortly after this.
Shirtless.
A few other things happened here and there, and to coworkers as well. Each of my coworkers have at least one story. I'm only sharing mine in this post, otherwise it would be way too long. It's already pretty long. A few months go by, and it's late fall, around the middle of November. I drive through the park in a town a lot when I just need to go for a drive. I had my dog Fenrir with me, and it's around 2 a.m. I can't sleep, so I'm listening to a Melvin CD. Ever heard of the Melvins? I have not.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Not off the top of my head, no.
And driving leisurely through the park. As soon as I get past on the entrance gates, I feel really uneasy and weird. I'm not easily scared. Going to the park at night makes me feel a primal fear. It's beyond fight or flight. I've never felt that way in my life anywhere else. Ever. And I feel it every time I'm there. I'm driving through the park and I've rolled the windows up a lot more. Fenrir can still poke his head out, but can't leap out. And I go deeper in the woods. I feel worse and worse. I decided not to turn around because I am already past the halfway point. Turning around would make me stay in the woods longer. I started speeding, where there wasn't turns I could see around. I round the last corner, and what I saw made me have nightmares for months. There was a pale, skinny humanoid, tall and lanky, not quite human, crawling on its hands and feet, but it was crawling fast, 20 miles per hour type shit.
Jesus Christ!
We don't have bears here. The only animal that size are large humans and deer. That was not a deer. It went from my right, crossed the street, and went into the tree line. Fenrir saw it too. He doesn't bark at animals, not even other dogs. He went ballistic. He was trying to force himself out of the small gap in the window, nearly foaming at the mouth and snarling. He never ever acts like that. I'm a certified dog trainer and I've raised him from birth. Most recently, I've become obsessed with this park. I walked there at night from my camper to the park with Fenrir. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
I didn't see a figure this time as I was entering the park, so I guess he went back.
Okay.
A massive owl flew by my head, so close I could have smacked it mid-flight. This made me feel weird for some reason. As soon as I get into the park, I feel extremely weird again, anxious and nauseous. I walk a few hundred yards to the only streetlight in the entire park, and I turn around and face the woods. Me and Fenrir stand there frozen for about 10 minutes. The silence was deafening. Anytime I heard anything, I'd jump. Finn was anxious as hell too. He kept staring into a certain spot in the woods a ways off. I swear I saw eyes in there every once in a while. I built up the courage to walk out, and I haven't gone back since. It'll be interesting to see what happens at my job this year. I wanted to add that the country I live in is packed full of abandoned mines. Hundreds of them.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So that one was a little bit different than what we've been reading. It was a series of a bunch of events, very lengthy, very descriptive.
I think that's, it still counts as one story, though.
Yes. And,
that is insane.
I don't fuck with the woods at night.
What do you
for
mean?
that reason?
Yes.
No,
I'm
I don't
cool
fuck with the woods at night for many reasons.
I'm cool.
But but things that crawl up 20 miles an hour just got added to it.
I know, and when they look like you and me, and they're moving 20 miile an hour like that, they're flying fucking mock Jesus. Are you kidding me?
I just also I just love Fenrir and Booger. That's their name.
Oh, I know. They're adorable.
Yes. So I have one photo for this.
Sure.
And it's just a creepy cornfield. And I want you to imagine standing in front of that cornfield and seeing a pair of floating eyes, or seeing a lanky creature on the line of it, near some trees.
I'm dipping because my ass, I'm obviously not supposed to be there anyway, so I gotta go.
It's the fact that he keeps venturing around these areas.
Cornfields are like an inherently creepy place at night. I think they're cool looking at day, even in the day. You don't know what's in there.
Right, I'm not trying to. No.
I'm not trying to.
No, you ever seen Children of the Corn? No, thank you. No, thank you. Next.
Oh man.
I would like to hear more about the mines. I think I would like to hear more of the history.
The idea of like the
that.
mines is creepy too, because of how
Well, he did say he lives in the Midwest as well.
Right, like of how many like reports of people going missing near like mines specifically. Like, have you seen that whole map thing?
Yes.
Like it's insane. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of these things coming out of mines and going into my cornfield. I just don't.
Look at the cavern maps for our state.
Oh
alone.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
No. Great story, hun. Love that.
Did you? I felt like it was really long, and I was.
Oh no,
it was a good story.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Good story.
Absolutely.
Right. For our palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
Nope, I'm good.
For our palate cleanser, I think I'm also going to go with an animal theme here.
Cute. Okay.
So, let's see here. Eeny, meeny, miny. That one. Okay. So, again, this is from Reddit.
B's picking these on the spot.
Yeah, pretty much. Listen, okay, so because I don't know the themes of the episodes or things like that, I have... my little collection of stories.
We don't have to have a theme.
And then, well, not necessarily a theme, but...
Right.
I have a little collection, and then I'll decide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, we'll stick with the animal theme, and we'll go with this one. This one's sweet vibes. It's another Reddit story, and it was just a genuine... That's not a word. General.
Oh.
Question of, hey, what's something heartwarming that you want to share? And this was posted 4 years ago. It says, I rescued a cat some years ago. She turned up at my farm/weekend retreat one sunny Sunday in late October. She was a sweet calico and liked people, so I thought she was someone's pet, even though the nearest home is a mile away. I left to go to work for the week. Next weekend, she was still there, living under the house. It was getting cold and snowy, and given she had not gone home, she would starve/freeze. I took her to my far away home in the city. I quickly found she was not house trained. Oh. She also really liked the outdoors and was not keen to be inside a house. I took her to the vet, where she had no chip and had never been fixed. She was in fine health and got her shots. The vet insisted we wait 2 weeks before having her spayed. She didn't like our home, but loved the warehouses and offices I had at work. I was sure she was a barn cat from a nearby dairy farm. They have lots of cats, and occasionally one would get forced out. It's unusual for a barn cat, but she was very warm, affectionate, and fearless. Warehouse/construction equipment and machinery did not scare her. She knew to get out of the way to jump on a shelf and watch, as she probably did in the dairy barn. In that 2 weeks, she was due to become fixed. She had a date with a tomcat and became pregnant. The vet was quite prepared to spray her and remove any kittens, but I just could not do that. So in a few weeks, she had the 2 cutest little kittens you've ever saw. Once they were weaned, I gave them to my parents, who loved them and got Mama fixed. Life for my kitty was good. Our warehouse overlooked a ravine/wilderness/river, so she roamed the wilds during the day and came home before closing and slept in my office. During the winters, when it was cold and snowy outside, she was happy to roam the warehouse. She never touched a bird, but was the best mouser and rat catcher you ever saw, and did us a big favor in keeping the place free of pests. She had loads of love, affection, smarts, and personality. Very interactive, more like a dog than a cat. She even learned to respond to commands, not words, but hand signs. I never met another cat quite like her. I'm thankful we found each other.
That's sweet.
That's sweet.
That is... I love that.
I love cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good mouser. Mew, we have 2 cats, Dr. Mew and Moondragon, and Mew is a great mouser.
Mm-hmm.
Back when we lived at the trailer, where we moved here from, we would have... We might not have since me and Dalia got together, but I used to have like a mouse problem there, and we didn't any longer because Mew was on top of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, she was... I do remember one time I was streaming on Twitch, and a mouse had climbed up on top of my like setup and was just looking at me.
Ooh.
And I don't do good with like small animals. I get very freaked out and stuff. So I actually called my niece, who she lives on a farm now. She came and she got the mouse. Mew had like taken care of it basically though by that time.
Yeah.
No, but there was a good stint, just a bunch of mice, and Mew was just going at it. She's a good mouser.
She had her a feast.
She really did. She
Scrumptious.
shouldn't eat them. She just plays with them and like throws them across the room and shit. No, but that is sweet. Yeah.
As for our picture, I've just got a little calico cat in a farm.
There
Little barn
you go.
cat.
Adorbs. Love that.
Sweet as can be.
Love that.
Oh.
Love that. So cute.
Good kitty.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I gotta say, halfway through that story, I had to like rein myself in because for some reason I was still in the mode of like horror story. Because like, so the whole like for half the story was like, okay, when's it go wrong? What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, the anxiety.
It's like there's something about humanoid creatures crawling at 20 miles an hour through a cornfield at you that'll just stick.
No, yeah, that'll do it.
Cute little kitty
Just
story.
cute little kitty story.
Cute little
Love
kitty.
that. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Well, guys, thank you. I really appreciate it. Does anybody want to give our whole rigmarole?
Yeah,
Go for it.
Thank you. And this podcast.
Wait.
What do I do?
Spiel about socials.
All the social stuff.
Oh,
Our email,
okay.
the email
Let's
stories.
delete that part.
Yeah. It's gone. It's
Start
gone.
again.
From the record.
Okay, so you can find more information, where to find us on socials on our beacons.ai page. We have a TikTok, we have a Facebook. We don't have Twitter because fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter.
We have Blue Sky.
Twitter. We have Blue Sky because
Yeah.
Blue Sky's awesome.
This guy's really nice.
What else do we have? Which one am I missing?
Instagram.
I always forget about Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Did you already say TikTok? You already said TikTok.
TikTok.
We have Facebook too. We have a Facebook
we have
page.
Facebook.
The Book of Face.
Should we restart this?
Nah, you're good. But yeah, you can find those all down below. If you have a story you want to send us, Dalia, where can they send that story to?
TPIBOTE, that's TPIBOTE at outlook.com. You can send me some paranormal encounters. You can send me some heartfelt stories. I will forward that to them and we'll read them out loud. Just include your name or if you want to remain anonymous.
Yeah, that's...
Yes, please.
I would love to read your sweet stories.
That'd be nice.
Please,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't even think of that as a possibility until like, the last episode.
Yeah. Let me
When you
connect
mentioned-
with
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. That would be nice.
Of
Yeah.
course.
That's
Happy.
Totally something we could do. Yeah. All
I
right.
love that.
Now you're good. I think you got
Okay. What do you mean now I'm good? I didn't mess up at
it.
all.
You're right. How
Perfect take.
silly of me.
You guys, this podcast was based on true events.